Welcome to the Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, where we keep you up to date with everything going on in the Cold Fusion community. We'll share the latest news on events, releases to engines, frameworks, libraries, and tools, as well as spotlighting quality content from the community. Welcome to the Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition. It is episode 200.
Woo!
Where's the claps?
Slow clap.
Yay, 200. I can't count that high.
Well, we won't
Pick
do
up your
that.
shoes.
That's why you got computers. Because you don't have that many toes, Brad. But but as you can see, we got a few of the hosts here for the episode 200. And Luis, don't we have a couple of prizes to give away a little later today?
Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. You gotta stick around. They will be randomly replaced during the podcast.
Yep, so we got 15, 16 people in there right now in the chat. So let us know you're here. Say hi, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't want to do it to an empty room, because it's no fun without at least somebody chat and heckle at us. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, but you're saying that those of us here are not fun.
Well, sometimes we have to go alone.
Brad maybe, but Eric's a lot of fun.
Yep. It's always a good group, and it's fun having the people in the chat, and it's great to see you guys at conferences too. So we didn't think this was going to come this far, right, Luis? What, 3.5 years ago, or 4, whatever? Like I guess 4.5 years.
It has
ago.
lasted.
Yeah. So there are a few changes coming though.
Good surprise.
Because we've got a lot of great content, and we're obviously at Audis, we're trying to do more and more, and so we are going to make a couple of changes after episode 200, and basically you'll be just getting us every 2 weeks from now on, so we can focus on getting more content out to you in other ways. So we'll still be doing it. We looked at all the content, and half the time we talk about the same conferences and, you know, a lot of the same information, so we're going to try and compact it into one episode every 2 weeks, and that way you still hear from us, we can still chit chat, but we get more content out to you, and that way we can spend more time working on other things like CFcasts and webinars and a lot of other cool inside projects, because, you know, Audis, we've got a million things burning at once, right?
You guys keep hearing a voice. It's like I hear Gavin's voice, but he's not in the podcast with us. Are you guys getting that too?
Only when I sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
For you online listeners, Gavin's video is not on the screen. He's our producer today. We have video of Luis, Dan, and Eric and I. Gavin's the voice from above.
Yeah, I was going to try and jam it in there, but it just didn't fit well symmetry-wise. So I decided to have one off behind the scenes. So I'll let you guys do the work today.
I like how you try to sneak that through, though, Brad. Good for you for calling him out on it.
Yep.
Won't get away with it that easy.
Yeah, so want to introduce yourself for those who don't know who you guys are, and then we'll get on with the show. So, Luis.
Well, I'm Brad Wood. Oh, no, already started. It's too late. Luis had his chance. I'm Brad Wood. I do stuff here at Audis. I'm one of our podcast hosts, developer on Command Box. Go. This is like the what's the TV show with the
Brady Bunch?
Thank you. We're literally the Brady Bunch. I need to look up and point to Eric, and then Eric can look to his right, point to Dan, and we'll go around in a circle.
We're probably not placed in the order we think we are.
Hey, at least it's like the Zoom room.
Look at the YouTube stream, you'll see.
I am.
Yeah, but the Zoom room goes everywhere.
We'll save Luis for last. I'll go next. It's me. I'm Eric Peterson. I also do stuff at Audis, since that's how we're introducing ourselves. Yeah, glad to be here. It's been fun.
Right on. I'm Daniel Garcia. I too do stuff at Audis, not as much as those guys, but I still do stuff, right? Fun fact, tomorrow will be my 2 years at Audis, if anyone's counting.
Sounds like you are. Woo!
I am. I'm excited. This is great.
You should get like a free copy of Command Box or something as a gift.
I want a free copy of Command Box 102 Tips and Tricks.
Great book. Totally recommend it.
We'll see about that.
I'll take 101 tips and tricks, Brad. Come on.
Sure.
The
I'm
running
still waiting
podcast
for
joke
Brad's
continues.
You'll take whatever I give you.
You get 4.5 tips and no tricks.
Well, I guess it's me. I'm Luis Mahano, and I've been called a documentation weirdo before. I really like it, but yes, and I also do a lot of stuff here at Orchard.
Called the documentation weirdo by his friends. His enemies call him something different.
Is there a comma between documentation and weirdo, or just is that one phrase, documentation weirdo?
True, that would change the meaning. You're a documentation weirdo.
No space.
No space or no comma.
No space or no comma.
It's Pascal case.
You know what? As long as you do it that way, I'll fix it during the Hacktoberfest and I'll get my stars. So that's how I get on my shirts, fixing Brad's documentation.
It's in Pascal case.
I welcome it.
Well, we just want to say hi to a few of the people in the chat. So we got Dan Card, another Ortus member. He's been a host as well. We could have fit everybody on here, but we try to get a few of the long-time hosts on here. Sean Odin's in the chat. Hey, Sean. We see him at lots of conferences. Andrew Davis, who was the original co-host. Me and Andrew started this way back in the day, so cool to see Andrew on there. And then Peter and Mary from the Sea of Wheels team. David Ballinger, who's presented it Into the Box, and he's a regular at a lot of Ortus items. And obviously, well, I don't know who Hypersphere is. They might have to explain themselves, but we know who David Levin is. He's a contributor and does a lot of work with the Ortus team, and we've been friends with him for a while.
Where do you see Hypersphere?
Oh, I have it in the live chat.
Chat participant.
Yeah, if you go to live,
I see it.
Oh, towards the bottom.
Hey.
If you change it to live chat, you'll see all of the stuff, not just the top chat, because sometimes things disappear if you don't do that.
Silly YouTube. No, I see Hypersphere. Identify yourself.
Kamasama K is here, so that's Andrew Brown, right? I always get this.
Something like that.
Yep. He's here as well. Matthew Brown. I know an Andrew Brown, so I always get those.
Awkward.
Yep. Calvin Stanton's in the house. He's a regular at does a lot of great things. He's gonna be speaking at CF Summit coming up here soon. And I don't know who SSS is. James Moberg's here. Scott Steinbeck is here. So obviously we all know these, a lot of regulars. It's great to see you guys here. A lot of them are patrons too, so very cool.
Oh, there's lots. Is he from CF Camp? Did you guys meet him there?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, so great to have you guys all coming in. And, oh, John Barrett's there. Yeah. Aloha, John, from Hawaii. And he helps run the Hawaii Online Meetup group, which they have a meetup coming up this week. Anyway, so yeah, it's great to have everybody here. Thanks, everybody, for joining us and helping us make this 200 episodes. We've still got a few left in us, so come along for the ride. But obviously, thanks to our sponsor, Order Solutions. Without us, or without them, we wouldn't be able to make this podcast. And obviously, it's the maker of Cold Box, Command Box, Forge Box, Test Box, and all your favorite boxes out there. So how can we say thanks to Order Solutions without dropping any money, guys? Don't speak up all at once.
Like and star repos on GitHub. I'm guessing. I'm not looking at the show notes. Sorry.
Classic.
Yeah, you have to
subscribe to our podcast and give us a review.
It's sign up for
like Daniel Garcia. Reach for the star.
Reach for the stars,
and then click them.
You can jump over to CFcast, sign up for an account there. We will even have a free year subscription, I believe, for CFcast as a raffle.
Ooh. You can go to the Box Life store and buy cool merch like my Command Box shirt. Serve it as
Woo!
Woohoo!
Always classic.
Or you can buy our book. 102 Cold Box HMBC quick tips and tricks. I've heard it's very, very good.
I've read it. It is good.
Written by the documentation weirdo himself.
Yes. Also learn Modern Cofusion. It's actually been updated to the latest and greatest versions. Well,
how modern is it?
It's more modern than ever.
It's so modern. Insert punchline.
We're playing the match game now.
Yeah, but so a lot of good options there. So again, like and subscribe on YouTube. But yeah, and then of course our Patreon supporters. You know, we've got 40 Patreons right now supporting us, and we're going to announce some of the top Patreons at the end of the show. And there's a lot of them in the chat, so we can't do it without our Patreons. Very, very cool. But we've got a lot of news and announcements. It's been a few weeks since we did our last episode, so let's jump into that. And anybody want to talk about Adobe's back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back updates?
Brad, I know Brad does. He loves that.
Yeah, so we're well aware because every time Adobe makes a release, we update our CF engines on ForgeBox for all you command box users and Docker container users. And Adobe released a security hotfix update, and we put them on ForgeBox. Then the next day or 2 days later, Adobe released another security fix update, and then we put that one on ForgeDocs. And a couple days later, Adobe released another security fix update. It's like poor John Costin was going crazy keeping up with that. But yeah, there were 3 updates, and most of them appeared to be all basically the same, which goes back to the stupid deserialization Java issues. That is one of those features, not a bug, in Java, where you can provide a serialized Java class, and if you can get the Java server to deserialize it, it'll execute whatever codes in the constructor, which can be malicious. And so Adobe's fix of just adding to the growing list of packages to ignore, they just keep adding to that list. But anyway, yeah, so that's supposedly exploited in the wild, and I think ironically, after the first or second update, when the hackers who had found it went and released the blog post of how to exploit it, they actually revealed another one that hadn't been patched, and then they pulled the blog post down, and that was what triggered another Adobe update. But anyway, so if you're on Adobe ColdFusion 2018, 2021, 2023, make sure you're up to date, and make sure if you're not using the Adobe installers that you have this JVM arg set that the tech note talks about. It's also worth noting 2018 is basically out of support. I think the core support ended on that last week. And so Adobe gifted you with, I'm going to say 1, but 3 final security updates. But in theory, there'll probably be no more security updates in 2018. And the only thing sadder than that is every time this is released, people would come up and be like, does this affect ColdFusion 2016? Or, insert incredibly old version here. The answer is yeah, it probably does. And no, there's probably not a good way to work around it. You get an update. So, yep. Lots of fun security updates going on there.
Good that they jumped on it so quick. And I mean, like you said, one after the other. I think it was the 11th, the 14th, and the 17th. It was really back to back to back. And there's more information on those security bulletins and the CVEs that it pertain to if you follow those links that we posted in the chat. So very cool.
To follow up with Brad, on July 13th, ColdFusion 2018 ran out of core support. It will be supported until 2024 on extended support. That usually just means they'll help you get to 2021 or 2023.
Right. Yeah. Adobe has officially said extended support does not actually include any fixes whatsoever. It includes upgrade assistance, which isn't really support at all. But that's
because don't you get that for free when you buy a new version anyway?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to help anybody upgrade, obviously. So the extended support window is kind of a joke, in my opinion. But yeah, you're on your own if you're still on 2018. Get the heck off that thing.
I guess the good news is if you're running ColdFusion 5, you're not using Java yet, so you're probably safe.
And I'm sure that's the only problem you have to worry about if you're on ColdFusion 5.
If they switch to command box, we'll help upgrade them, right, Brad? With a smile.
Something like that.
The command box Pro?
Yeah, command box Pro will solve everything somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, next up, we have news and releases. Obviously, there were a lot of releases we just mentioned because Adobe's updates, but Lucy's been pretty busy too, and so they had a couple of releases, 5.4.1.8 and 5.4.2.17 stable releases, and it's fixing one of your query bugs. Brad, was that you that had the bug, or did they fix somebody else's query bug?
It wasn't. I'm trying to remember now. It wasn't even actually a bug. I mean, it was, but it wasn't. It was a query that used to fall back to the HSQL DB implementation, and it used to work there because it was never actually implemented in the native query, and they updated HSQL DB from 1.8 to 2 point something as part of their push to get all the CVEs out. And 2.0 is a major change and a major version update of Hypersonic SQL. So it has some breaking changes, and so those queries no longer worked anymore. I implemented some code just to implement that functionality in the native ones, so it didn't need to fall back. But yeah, there's been a handful of little things that changed, all related to updating the underlying library, which is an interesting conversation we were having today, is how you deal with major updates to a implementation detail library that potentially have breaking changes that your users see, even if it's maybe a minor update, or a patch update on your end. Of course, the hallmark changes in Lucy's releases are security related. That's the main reason we're having them.
So they pushed out the XML XXC mitigation as well. So if
And
you're running Lucy,
that came to the 5.3 branch as well. You're still
Yeah,
back on that.
they backported that a couple versions. I know I need to ping Zach, because there's some other security stuff they don't mention, and I don't know if it's because it's not in this, or if it's just because it's being secretly fixed. But either way, you definitely want to get on the later versions of Lucy. So 5.4 has some breaking changes, because that second number for Lucy is what they consider major, paradigm.major.minor. So they dropped the ORM extension. They've changed some default settings. So if you go from 5.3 to 5.4, keep that in mind. You may run across some breaking things. But if you have to pass like not aggressive, but just security scanners that scan every single jar on your hard drive, you're going to like the 5.4 series the most, because that's really cleaned a lot of that up. And dropping some of those extensions they used to include is how they got rid of the rest of those CVEs. But the 5.3 series does have most of the security fixes if you're not ready to do the testing required to make that jump to 5.4.
very cool. So it looks like Lucy 0 came about. Luis, did they talk about that at CF Camp?
No, I don't think Zach did that until after CF Camp. That's like the week after CF Camp, he was playing around with that.
So yeah, so apparently Lucy 0, a lighter Lucy Light. They already had Lucy's Light, so this is Lucy
Yes,
0. And so now it's meant to be Lambda friendly. So new smaller Lucy distribution without admin or docs bundled. Very interesting. So reduce the jar size by 2 megs and avoids expanding them on install. So it makes it a lot faster, and there's a lot less to deploy. So what do you think about this? Is it getting close to like the mini box and everything, or is that what, like, because I know Pete has his fuseless and does stuff there. Is this another good option? Is anyone read much about it yet?
To be honest, I haven't looked at it yet. I saw the tweets and the messages. I haven't played with it. I've still just barely started playing with the single context stuff in Lucy 6. I don't have enough free time to mess with all this. I need to check and see what else is removed from it. Because it would be nice to update command box to do stuff like this, but it depends on what it has removed. Because if it has stuff removed the command box needs, then it might not be useful. We'll see.
Just docs and admin, then you might better get away with it. So that might be cool. But I know that, there's sometimes the extensions need to be installed again if you need them. So, but very cool. So Lucy's been busy, Adobe's been busy, lots of stuff going on.
Hey, we've been busy.
Oh, we have been busy. What have you been working on, Daniel? I know you're presenting. Is it today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow, thankfully. But we'll get to that when we get to the that section.
Yep, for sure. So cool. Let's move up to webinars, meetups, and workshops. And we had one, I guess last month now, June 23rd. So I think we forgot to mention this last time, so I wanted to throw it out there that Mark Takata did an intro to Cold Fusion 2023 with the Hawaii Cold Fusion Meetup group, and the recording is online, so I'm going to share that. But you want to tell us about the next one, Daniel? We got another one coming up this week from John Barrett.
Yeah, this Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Charlie Earhart's going to talk about CF scheduled tasks more than you know and should. And whenever you see Charlie, present it, Charlie can present the phone book, and I'd want to tune in and watch it. So just, tune in.
Just like an Andy Kaufman joke, or
no, it's literally Charlie. Whenever I go to conferences, if Charlie's presenting or Pete's presenting, I'm like always there for their presentations. So I'm either learning something really good, or Pete scared the heck out of me with something.
Wasn't it the Andy Kaufman movie where he did like a stand-up thing and he just started reading the phone book? Wasn't that?
He did. He did.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Well, I don't know. Two things can be true at the same time. Maybe I am still wrong. not rule that.
Anyway,
out.
check
Pete
that out.
scares me sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
You should.
yeah, if you're not scared, you've got something wrong with you. 'Cause even if you think you've got it covered, you're still like, well, I better double check that, or maybe I
Oh,
missed
and
that.
Pete, speaking of Pete, he has an excellent page on his site that shows all of the XML external entity stuff, which Lucy addressed and Adobe addressed fairly recently as well, because both engines did completely different implementations on that. So Pete always has a page that helps iron all that stuff out.
Yeah. The crazy thing with Pete, he's like the nicest guy too. So go figure.
Yep. He doesn't have to be mean when he's got security on his side. But yeah, so like as Daniel was saying, Charlie always gets to the bottom of it, does a lot of research, and that really fills out his topics. And so if he's doing one on scheduled tasks, it's probably nothing more thorough than that, because the docs are pretty light on scheduled tasks, and there is a lot you can do with them. So they're always improving too. So a lot of new stuff coming out. So it'd be good to tune into that one. And then we have some more from Adobe as well. So it looks like Mark Takata is going to be, I think it's Mark, on the 26th, so tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific. He's going to be doing talk about new administration features in Adobe ColdFusion 2023. And we got a couple more coming up next month as well. You want to tell us about that, Eric?
Sure thing. We got Adobe's Road to Fortuna series, their new administrative features in ColdFusion 2023. Skipping ahead to August 9th, there's a ColdFusion workshop starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then they're going to talk about the new Google Cloud Platform features in Fortuna on August 25th.
Yep, and the Google Cloud Platform guy, I believe, is going to be presenting at CF Summit as well. So they're going to bring him along. It's pretty cool. They're adding more and more features into Adobe 2023 to be able to talk to all those different engines. So pretty cool to have the evangelists coming out and doing that. Some new faces, new topics. So okay, well, we've got some big releases to CF Cast. Luis, you want to tell us what we just rolled out recently?
Ooh, drum roll.
Wait, do we have a drum roll on our soundboard?
No. Get to it, man.
How about this?
That might have been loud. I apologize.
On that one. Have a gun sound. That's it. But our new series is Into the Box 2023. So if you were not able to come to the conference, all the sessions were recorded and they are now available. The link is going to be posted in the channel and also in the show notes. But they're available for everybody to consume. So if you actually attended the conference, you got them for free. And yes. And if you did not, well, for a small charge, you can get all of the videos. I think there are over 28 videos, I believe 28 sessions. So lots of great content available to you. So, and that way you can also help us and support us. So we'll be putting the link. Oh, there's the link. And there's a yay.
Yep, and then we will be releasing that to normal, paid subscribers, but after an exclusivity window of about 6 months. So you guys will get them just like all
Christmas
the other
time.
versions. Yeah, about Christmas time, but we do have that. Obviously, Into the Box, we're not Adobe. We don't have buckets of money laying around for marketing. So these definitely helps to pay the way, so we can try to at least get close to breaking even.
Wait, you don't keep your money in buckets?
Mattresses, man. Memory foam are way better, way more predictable than fire.
I was gonna make a Kansas joke, but I lost it, so never mind.
Yeah, but of course we also have some ForgeBox videos of the weeks and the VS Code hint, tip, and trick of the week as we release the episode. So check that out. And Eric, you got a few things on the coals, right?
On the docket, yeah. ColdBox Elixir, which I'm still working on editing right now, and makes me want to do the Vite one because Vite is nicer.
And tell us what ColdBox Elixir is for any.
ColdBox Elixir is a build tool, so all of the fun JavaScript and CSS building that you need to do nowadays, ColdBox Elixir can help you handle that. And then I'll be doing getting started with Inertia.js, which I also get to do a couple months from now at the Hawaii ColdFusion meetup. So
So, since we're talking about CFCast, this might be a good time to give away something.
Ooh.
Yes. And I think Eric should give it away since it's his brainchild.
Give it away, give it away,
I'd
give
be
it away
happy
now.
to. Do you know?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Dude.
Technical difficulties. If he leaves, all the video's going to get messed up.
Oh no.
No.
Everyone's going to be
Eric.
split.
Oh, Gavin, how to get the list of everybody in the stream?
Whoa, whoa,
Oh.
whoa.
He's back. You had a little blurb. So,
Ah. Okay.
Can you hear us, Eric?
I can
He's
hear
like,
you.
All
he's
right.
like, congratulations, that person, you won.
You
Moving on.
you
Okay.
froze up right as you started to talk.
yeah.
Oh, we need a way to get a list of everybody that's in chat, right? Or in watching the video, Gavin?
I guess we need to ask who wants a paid membership to CFCast. And if
Yeah.
they say so
So,
in the chat,
I
then
believe
we-
if you type in chat, then we'll be able to get your name. But if you're just watching, I
Oh,
can't, I
that's
can't
true.
copy you out.
Well, I'm gonna say there's a participants window, but this doesn't
It's-
show everybody that.
It's only the people who have typed in chat recently.
Okay, so you got to type something in the
Um,
chat right now, so you'll show up on our participant window.
And then I will grab your name and stick you in
Let's
raffle
see.
box.
We
Oh,
got
they're
John
pouring in.
Barrett,
Jordan
Sean
Clark,
Odin.
Kamasama K.
we have quite a few viewers right
Great
now, guys. It's
Desmond.
really cool to see.
Gray Desmond.
Ah,
so 5,
Spam the
Carl,
chat. Spam the
6.
chat.
No lurkers.
Go.
Cool. Well, Eric's gonna get that ready, and
So why don't you have him work on that while we talk about the next item or something?
yeah, so he's gonna get that ready. Thanks everyone for chiming in. You're in the draw now. Oh, SSS apparently wants to be in there too. But let's move on to the next thing, and we'll announce the winner there shortly. So conferences. I think Daniel, you should tell us why that conference is so cool, since you're there right now,
I
hiding
am
from the
here.
keynote on the video with us.
Absolutely. I'm here in beautiful Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Next to like Into the Box and CF Summit. This is my favorite tech conference to go to. It's a polyglot conference, so no particular language, just all a bunch of tech people coming out here. They also have a professional track and a family track. And so I'm presenting tomorrow on Postman and all the cool things you can do with Postman. And then my son is presenting, he's 9 years old. He's presenting Rubik's Cubes. So he's in the family track presenting. I'm the professional track. You're going to meet all sorts of really cool people. Even one of our presenters Into the Box this year, Keith Casey, I had met at that conference, and he came out to Into the Box and did a great job for us. And it's just really cool to be with this many people. I would say 700 to 1,000 maybe total attendees. It's really cool. I wish all of you could be here, not in my room, but at the conference.
And you haven't said the best thing. There's two amazing things there. There's water slide, water park, right, built into the center.
Yes.
And there's a bacon buffet. Like
Yes,
bacon
Wednesday
and egg.
night is the Bacon Fest. They actually have a pig roast and then a bacon buffet on Wednesday night. There's a water park. If you know anything about the Wisconsin Dells, if you don't know, Wisconsin Dells is a huge touristy water park friendly resort type area. And so the property we're at has a water park inside and outside. And so you don't have to leave the property to go water parking. And so yeah. So they do this one in the summer, and then they're going to be in Texas and next January, February. I have to check the date. So they're trying to do this twice a year in Texas and in Wisconsin Dells. This is my third time attending, second time presenting. Just love it. That's awesome.
So now I think we're ready for the announcement of the CFCast.
We are. I hope you guys put your names in there. I got everybody that's commented. And I mean, do you want me to share my screen or just tell you what Rafflebox spits out?
Just tell us what Rafflebox spits out. It was
Drum roll. And Jordan Clark, you have won a year subscription to CFcasts.
Woo! Good job, Jordan.
Better than a bacon buffet.
Lasts longer, at least.
I know.
Yeah, good stuff. Woohoo! Very, very cool. So we have another prize we're giving out a little bit later on. So stick around. We're not done
Jordan,
yet.
Cold box.
and
So
Jordan,
get
if
that
you
before
want to
too.
pop your email into the chat, we'll make sure to send that coupon your way.
Or if you want to just message us via Box Team, we can do
or
that too.
email us, or any way you want to get us your email.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, well, we still have some more conferences to talk about. So Adobe CF Summit West. Brad, are you excited for Adobe CF Summit? It's one of the bigger ones out there. You're always talking about marketing budgets and how Adobe uses all of theirs on that.
I don't know. They haven't picked any of my sessions yet, have they?
Well, not so far, but they're still
I'll be
working
more
on it.
excited if they pick me to speak. I'm always excited for CF Summit. Vegas is big and loud and flashy and
just like you.
Something like that. No, I mean it's always a fun conference. It's the biggest cold fusion conference that happens right now, and it's always got good food and a crazy after party. You just scream to be heard at. Your voice is hoarse the next day when you have to present. But it's always a lot of fun, and I mean the cold fusion engineers come in from India, which is the only time you really get a chance to actually see them in person. And we have an Ortus training happening as well, so
yeah,
it
for
should
sure.
be a good time to be had by all.
Yep. The prices have gone up. They did have the early birds till the middle of June, but right now, $199 for the session pass, which gets you to 2 days and 4 meals, basically 2 breakfasts and lunches, and probably a party too. They have the first day party, and they're always a lot of fun too. So $199 is a great deal, and like I said, they heavily subsidize it. Adobe throws their marketing budget at you, so you can enjoy that for a great price. And if you want to stick around for the third day, you can do that professional pass through the certification. With Adobe, or like Brad said, if you prefer, you can come to 2-day training with Luis and myself, and Coalbox Zero to Hero training. So it's a 2-day workshop. So some of you guys have seen we offered in a 1-day, jam-packed session, but this is a 2-day, so we can take a little more time. And Luis has some information on the deals we have right now, right?
Yes, actually, I'm putting it right now for today. There you go. You can see it. We'll put it on the show note, but we're in the giving mood. That's 25% off for the training with Gavin and myself. And it's a brand new training. We'll cover lots of great goodies from Cobalt 7 to migrations to seeding to unit testing to integration testing. So lots of cool stuff to get you from zero to hero.
Yeah, 25% discount today. And we're going to be really close to the Mirage, so you don't have to worry about, having to get from one location to the other. It's just a couple of miles away. We're right next to, is it still?
Fogo de Chão.
Yep. Yeah, Fogo de Chão. Exactly. Like,
Unlimited
close to
meat.
Top Golf, close to Starbucks, chicken and waffles, all the different things you need. A couple of different hotels if you want to jump from the Mirage over to one of those. So lots of great options there, really close. Nice little small. I like the small classroom setting of our workshops. Like sometimes you go to places and there's just millions of people. Usually we try and keep it under 10, so that way you guys get a lot of time and attention. So that way we can really help you get all the way from like I said, a zero to a hero. No one gets left behind, and at the end of the day, you've got a functioning app, and you've learned a lot on the way, and take it home. And usually I recommend walking through it one more time just to get more familiar, and then you can start using it on your own project. So a lot of great insight there, and it's perfect for someone who's done another framework or maybe new to frameworks altogether. So, and sometimes we even have people that use Coalbox a little bit. They want to just come in and just get everything, get immersed, do it right all the way through. So yeah, we've got quite a few people signing up already, so hopefully you guys can join us, and we'll have a great time in Vegas in October.
Yes, definitely. And that's how we always try to keep it manageable in that sense of being more intimate, right? So I think that has always been since I started these trainings back in 2008 or 9, I think. So I think my focus was to be able to also network for people, right, and be able to address all of their issues. So it's kind of our mantra to have them more intimate than 20 people, 30 people.
Yep, for sure. I mean, the Adobe workshop was good. There's a lot of people. We learned a lot. I did that one last year to get certified with Daniel. That was good too. But
and Sean,
sorry.
Sean Oden in the chat.
Yep, that's what he said. If he gets invited to speak at CF Summit, he got the wife to agree to go too, and they're going to renew their vows with Alvis while they're there, and we'll all be invited.
Nice.
As long as
Oh man, now I want to go.
and now he says he's not making sure it won't conflict with one of the oldest training days, so that makes it a little different. But yep, that's pretty cool. And yeah, James Moberg said he got he made it one of the photos just. And those 6 photos on the homepage, I'm in it 3 times. So James is in it once. A few of the other speakers are in there too. So it's
Adobe knows when they have a winner, Gavin. So you're like everywhere.
Yep. Speaking of which, so far they have announced the first wave of speakers. Luis and I are on that list. George Murphy, Charlie Earhart, a lot of good speakers are on that list. But they're still working on the second wave. So there are more speakers coming, more sessions coming. So there's still time. I know that Daniel and Brad and Eric submitted stuff. Hopefully they'll be there too. And it's always great to have everybody come out and chat at the booth. So whether we're speaking or not, it'd be great to see you guys out there. I know James came and talked to us last year, and we did a little live podcast there. We'll try and do that again this year. So a lot of fun. But then into the box of TAM. Do you know much about that yet, Luis? We got November 30th is the date. Any more details you can hide?
We do. So we have a venue. And we have our sessions. So they're going to be published in a couple of days here. I'm actually working on the deploy script for the new site. So it should be available pretty soon here. But yes, it will be in El Salvador, November 30th. So we highly encourage people to go there and visit. It is very, very safe today. So you can visit and have fun with everybody in Latam. And the new venue is actually a university, the University of Business in El Salvador, and it's a huge venue. We can fit up to like 200 folks. So it's very, very interesting. And they are also great sponsors for us as well. And it's called the ESEN University. We'll put links on it as well to give them promotions because they basically donated the venue to us, which is really fantastic. And we're going to have lots of goodies and lots of food and even a barista station for immediate cappuccinos as well.
Ooh, hear that, Brad? Or wait, are you allowed back?
I don't know. I'm not speaking this year. Let's see if I sneak in or not.
I think the issue, Brad, is not eating. It's not eating this year, Brad. That's the issue.
Yeah, I just got to lay off the ceviche. I've eaten myself sick both times I've been in El Salvador. I just can't. I can't put the food down, man. All the plantain chips and the limes.
I don't think the plantain chips is what got you.
No, I don't think so either. Ceviche, man.
Brad is banned from El Salvador until he can build better flora in his gut.
That's why I need to go more often to build up my my gut for it.
It's a good point, Brad. We'll definitely have to consider that.
We have some other hot off the press news for ITB 2024 because this is even news to me. Luis is putting some extra stuff in the chat.
Yes, sure. We should announce it now. So ITB 2024, we announced the dates at the conference, which we already knew that May 15th to the 17th of 2024. However, we did not announce where, and we have 2 cities now as the candidates. Washington, D.C. and Boston. So we have 2 candidates, so it will no longer be in Houston for the moment.
You should vote. You should vote in the chat if you want to influence us one way or the other.
It depends on how much they charge me, so that might be more influence.
I didn't say I'm going to listen to you if you vote. I'm just saying you should vote.
When he says Washington, D.C. or Boston, he means nearish.
Yes. So Washington, D.C., we already have a location in downtown D.C., close to the Pond Circle. We're negotiating right now how it's going to be, but we're very excited to bring this to the East Coast. So very exciting about that one. And then Boston, we're still in talks in several venues, but those are the 2 cities right now with candidates. So we'll actually know hopefully by August, and actually call for speakers should be out in August as well. We're doing everything with ample time. And early, super early bird tickets are all actually already available.
August.
So we can actually purchase. Yes.
We call these the blind tickets. You're going to buy it before you know anything else because you know we're going to do it right.
But at least you know the time zone, which is, pretty important.
Yeah, May 15th through 17th. You know that much. You don't even know what city it is. That's really blind.
Exactly.
Usually you just don't know who the speakers are yet or whatever. But now you don't even know what city you're going to be going to. But yeah, DC, Washington, DC, or Boston sounds fun. Yeah, so May
Boston.
15th through 17th next year. Yeah, put it in your calendars, block it off, inform your family you're going to be gone. And, you usually you just want to fly on the day before, make sure you're there for the workshops as well as the conference, and don't rush off too early on the day off. So, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see where we end up.
Oh, and maybe should we announce the other announcement on it, Gavin, that we talked about?
I
Or do you
don't know. I
forgot?
guess you should tell us.
It was
'cause I
like,
remember.
he has no idea.
Yes, remind
Everyone,
me.
close your ears while Luis tells us what he's talking about.
We will have 3 sessions that we discussed with different levels and different things.
You mean
all the
3
things that we
tracks?
wanted. 3 tracks. Level, track, same deal.
What are these tracks you speak of, sir?
I don't know that the names have not been decided yet, but there will be 3. So it's even a more blind ticket now.
But like
There's
beginner,
track meat,
intermediate,
there's track
advanced.
suit, there's
Yes, there's a track A, a B, and a C. How about that?
oh, okay.
What about A2 and C? Anyway,
Could
we
be.
got lots of
I think
options.
we're getting off track here, guys.
Yeah, I'll say
Us?
Luis got to put some flair on it. I'm sure it'll be something interesting. So
A
it'll
little
be
bit of salsa. So,
something flirty. But
Lots of
obviously,
fancy included.
lots of conferences to finish off the year. If you want to find out more, comps.tech have a lot of different conferences up there, and you can find some in your area. So let's get into the blogs. Again, it's been a few weeks since we've done it, so we've got quite a few blogs. Ben Nadel has been busy with his blog post, so he has the spread operator cannot replace struct base, argument collection, and cold fusion. I saw you commenting on this one on Twitter, Brad. So you want to tell us a little bit about how
You
that
mean
went down?
X? He was commenting on X.
On X, yes, it's no longer Twitter. Come on,
Oh.
your image is out of date. It's just an X. Elon's updated the logo. You're so far behind the times.
I read
Oh,
that
man.
yesterday, but I ignored it because I thought it was stupid.
Hey, that's Brad's line.
Yeah. No, I had replied to Ben, but I was just being grumpy about the fact that I didn't think spread was that big of a deal in cold fusion since we already had argument collection. And I think the gist of Ben's article was basically Adobe didn't really think this entirely through, and it doesn't work very well.
Bird.
So the normal. But yeah, so if you want to go
Well,
through,
I have to say something. But at least, and I think the spread operator is definitely needed because you not only need it for method invocations, you also can use it to compose other objects as well. So I think that it has another functionality that is just apart from argument collection.
yeah, it definitely
Look at
looks
that, Brad.
weird when you dump the values out. It does some strange stuff.
Now the question is, did it right? That would be more of the question.
Doesn't look like it.
Apparently, the answer is no. I don't think Lucy is implementing this, right?
No, I created
I
tickets for them because I was updating the modern CFML with this. And so, yeah, so spread operator and the rest operator as well is not done, as well as the array destructuring as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say the spreads are nice, but where's our destructuring? Like, how many
Yeah.
times have you wanted to just pull out the 2 keys from the struct you want, or the one thing from the array, and you have to
Yeah,
do all the dumb
Well,
checks?
it's in Adobe 2023, but not in Lucy. So tickets are there.
All right.
Question is,
Good job,
when
Adobe.
will it be done?
Well,
Very good
if it's in
question.
Adobe, it's gonna get done, right? Because they're committed to compat. So
Could be.
Well, there's
Yeah.
there's tickets I've had in for years for compat that I'm still waiting on.
okay, well,
Yeah,
Like
I know
the ability to leave off the parentheses in the single argument closure, still waiting on that. Adobe has it. Lucy doesn't.
Yeah, and those types of things, like Scott says, he uses it all the time in JavaScript. He wants it in CF, and for a lot of developers, they still start with JavaScript because it's a catch-all, right? And if everyone who goes from JavaScript can easily just transfer their current skills into Cold Fusion because it's similar syntax and everything else. Like it's a good way to sort of move. So if we're compatible and it actually works the same, it might be easier to get more Cold Fusion developers from the JavaScript world. So that's not a bad thing, especially since most people are learning it to start with. But they better do some stuff right, and apparently Ben said something else struggles. The Cold Fusion Elvis operator struggles with nested array references. So
see that headline should have been shorter. It should have just said Adobe Cold Fusion Elvis operator struggles, and then you could just you can end it.
Well, maybe he's got a series, and that's the name of the series. But
I feel like I struggle with that operator. Like I'm using it, and sometimes I have to wrap it with parentheses, and sometimes I have to. I don't know. It's just do something,
Well,
and sometimes it works.
Lucy also has that issue, and they changed. There was a breaking. I say breaking. There was a change in Lucy a few versions ago in a minor release that adjusted like the order of like evaluations, and I had a few places in command box I had to add parentheses. But that's more of a parsing thing. Adobe's issue with Elvis is that it's a unholy concoction of null coalescing and shortened ternary, which makes it basically worthless. And as such, we have stopped using Elvis in pretty much any of our cross-engine compatible libraries like Coldbox because it's freaking worthless.
So Elvis has left the building, eh, Brad?
There might be some
needs
there
to.
that will come to bite us at one point. So
Yeah, the problem is, well, there's several problems, but there were like 3 releases in a row where Adobe kept waffling back and forth on what Elvis was going to do, and there's just tons of like misunderstanding and confusion in the community at the time of if Elvis was copying other languages like Groovy, which has a completely different truthy falsy concept than Cold Fusion, or if it was just pure null coalescing, which is what it appears to be, but it's actually a shortened ternary in some languages. Anyway, so Adobe would make it do one thing, and like a few people in the community would all scream and be like, "No, you idiots, you did it wrong." And the next update, Adobe would flip it, and the other half of the community would be like, "No, you idiots, you did it wrong." And after about 3 releases, Adobe just like left it. They're like, "That's it, we're done. We're never touching this again." And they haven't touched it since. And my ticket, unfortunately, they left it in the stupid state. And so I have a ticket in there that's like, "Please fix all this," and I don't think they care. Their official word on it is, "Oh, that's how we designed it," and my official word is, "You designed it dumb. Please fix it."
Lucy at least will just say, "Oh, if this array doesn't exist, then obviously I'm not going to go down the path." Where Adobe just says, "It doesn't exist in the first place, so I'm going to throw an error instead." You know, you always have to put the little.
I didn't think Adobe had issues like that anymore.
Well, look in that blog post. That's what it's for nested arrays. They don't do it for everything, but for the nested arrays, it says, "Oh, you're looking for an item in the array that doesn't exist, so we can't look 3 levels deep to give you an empty string back."
Right, because
So-
the question is it only if you encounter null when dereferencing the last part of the expression that Elvis kicks in, or is it if anything in that expression is null? And Lucy pretty much wraps the entire like left-hand side of the expression in like a try-catch. And if just anything blows up dereferencing any of it, Lucy goes, "All right, Elvis will take over," and you get you get the other value.
Between Elvis and the safe navigation operator, just throw question marks all over and see if it works.
That's
Oh,
what
you
I
can't
do.
use safe nav. You
That's
can't
what I
use
do.
safe nav. That's all kinds of broken in Lucy. You try to use safe navigation, you get these weird low like bytecode errors. No,
Man,
can't use
Brad,
that.
you're ruining my joke. Come on.
Because the CF engine's ruined it first.
Oh, man.
Just years
You're
of
making me
frustration.
you're making me change my code right now.
You know what? 95% of the people who use safe navigation don't even need it because they have Elvis at the end and it renders it pointless anyway.
Well,
If you're using safe navigation
you
and you
know
have an
what? It
Elvis
makes-
after it, why? Why are
It
you
makes
doing
us feel better. That's why, Brad.
it? You get paid by the character of code you type.
All those extra question marks show in our code that we really don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
The question marks are an outpouring of your brain. You're like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Well, next up we have one from James Moberg, and so he's going to be talking about creating ISO string, so a user-defined function to replace the date time format for ISO. So I guess he's saying that it doesn't do a very good job, so he's made his own. We see a little trend here, everybody. Yep, and James is in the chat, but yeah, so that's basically the date convert function has been able to convert from local to UTC and vice versa. But basically, he's got all sorts of issues with date times, and I don't blame him. Those are like the worst things, almost as bad as the Alphas operator stuff. So he's talking about how he's had plenty of
Well,
problems.
the majority of issues in the CFML engines behind these dates, because I have to suffer through them, is because they still rely on the old Java IO.date package, right? So the new date packages that were released in JDK 7 actually are much better, but obviously the engine is not using them.
Don't you know,
right?
Luis, JDK 7 is far too recent for us to be using.
I know. But yes, there's a lot of pain when doing a lot of date formatting stuff. I mean, for example, all the callbox schedule tasks, we had to create our own date utilities, and now they're actually date delegates, so you can use them in your application. But yeah, the actual new date package in the JDK are great. They're functional. They have lots of great utilities. So I would really recommend that you look at them. They're also in the Java in the callbox core packages, so you can use them as delegates. So they're available in Waterbox, Logbox, Cachebox as
And
well.
when Luis says functional, he
yeah.
doesn't mean they function, i.e. work. He means they're higher order functions. They use functional programming. Anyway. But they also work.
But they work, right?
James's function improves on just doing like a date time format ISO or ISO 8601 by letting you pass in time zones, by passing in different format values besides just ISO, some standard ones, and truncating it to the precision level that you want. So if you use date time format with ISO, you get whatever the local server is, not whatever you want. So yeah, it's a nifty little thing. You should throw this up on. I have a
Torchbox.
Well, I have a library too. I called it Coda because I needed a name. And it's just date helpers because we needed some. So yeah, you want to send a pull request? I'd take something like this. I do ISO dates all the time.
Very cool.
Bring it.
We also had a bunch of those security patch blog posts. There was 3 in 7 days, so those are all in here, but we're not going to go over those again. I guess we'll post the links to them real fast just so you can get them if you want to. But we have a couple more blog posts here, and let's see. The next one we have was Benedell talk about how Cold Fusion returns nulls dates. Oh,
let me take this one because this hit me in QB. So QB for the longest time has returned everything as an array, right? Because who wants to do queries? Yes, come fight me. It's fine. So I wanted to update when I dropped 2016 support to using the return type array, because why wouldn't I use the native stuff, right? And quickly ran into a regression, which is this. If you are doing a return type array, Cold Fusion, instead of returning an empty string for null, which has been the default for who knows how many versions of Cold Fusion, it will return null as if you had full null support on, which of course breaks everybody's expectations. So short story is QB still does its own array conversion because you can't trust the engines. There's my rant. You're welcome.
Yeah. Undefined.
Welcome.
Does it do undefined or null or?
Undefined and Lucy is null, so they can't make up their mind about what to call it. So
I guess it depends on how you dump into stuff. Interesting. Yeah. Good times.
So if you have full null support on somehow, you never notice this. But if you don't, he said it happens in what version? I don't know if they fixed this. No, it looks like both 2021 and 2023 still do this. So, yay.
We also ran into that fun bug in 2021. Capitalizes struct key names when you're using a closure instead of a predefined function too. So there's always fun stuff.
A struct with a key and a value that's like function or a lambda, it will capitalize the left-hand key no matter what you did. But if you instead pass a reference to a function, it's fine. So Adobe parser, fix it.
Yeah, that was fun because when you do a count in quick, it messes up the casing. So, and then on some databases they care what the name of the keys
like Postgres.
Yes, exactly. That was fun. And then I tried on every version of Cold Fusion, and all of them work except for any version of 21. So it works in 18, 23, even going back to like 10, but whenever closure started. anyways, good times. So fun. Find a job. So if you guys are here because you're not working right now, there are 7 jobs listed this month, and we've got a whole slew of them here. But you can go to getcfmljobs.com if you want to find out more about any of them. So you guys want to read some of them off?
Sure. There's a lot of them, and time is ticking. So we got jobs in Virginia, India, remote position in the U.S., 3 to 6 months contract in the U.K., another one in Virginia, and another one that just says United States, United States. So I'm not sure where that is, but we got the continent at least.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, go look at getcfmljobs.com and look on the CFML Slack and the box Slack because we have job channels in there too. So, module of the week before Eric has to run off to a meeting. Megaphone module of the week. So, want to tell us what is your megaphone going on about this time, Eric?
All right. Yes, it's been a while since I've released a new module, right? CBQ was the last one. So this is protocol based because that's one of my favorite things, and it's about sending notifications. So we're talking text messages, email notifications, maybe Slack, maybe to the database, and you're going to show it in the little bell icon, maybe WebSockets. It's going to handle all those. Right now, it handles database because that's what the client that asked me to build this needed. So this can send notification classes or items into the database. It can be different per the person that's getting the notification or team or entity, whatever that is. So yeah, you can check out the docs for it, and we're going to be building more. I think we have WebSockets and email coming up next. But just a nice way. I've used this in a couple places where we just wanted to send a notification to multiple channels at once, and this is a nice way of handling it. So called it Megaphone because I wanted a cool name for it, and there's an emoji I can use whenever I want to talk about it. So
I saw a demo.
I think
Eric.
Gavin wanted this a long time ago, right, Gavin?
Yeah, well, Eric and I have sort of been using this approach, just not a module. Eric built something based on some Laravel stuff or similar stuff, and it works really nice. We got 3 different versions of it within like 4 apps for the same client. It seemed like we're like, we got to do this eventually. So yeah, someone actually drew it up, but we got a Forgebox drawing we want to give away here too. But yeah, this
I will say it can be used in Coldbox 6, but if you use Coldbox 7, there's some awesome delegates you can throw in around your code to make it even easier. So
yes,
delegates for the win.
Delegates are exciting.
Yep.
So I still have the list. If we're doing a giveaway, I do want to check real quick that nobody else has joined or talked lately.
Put it in the chat,
So,
people.
if you want to win a Forgebox Pro account, say hi in the chat real quick, and then we'll make sure we get your name in the list.
I have the list from the CFcast one, so all those people are still in. But if you've joined since,
this is a 1-year subscription, correct?
To Forgebox Pro,
correct, right? Oh, Joe Dixon's in there. Sean Odin's in there. David Levin. Oh, David's already got Forgebox Pro. I'm not surprised.
Say some of the Patreon. Sorry, some of the Patreons who are bronze or higher will already have the Forgebox Pro, but
James Moberg.
Okay. Well, we can give it a few more seconds, but I've gotten everybody so far.
Oh, Scott Steinbeck. Well, he was in there before, so he should be eligible.
Do you want to talk about the VS Code extension while I get these names?
Sounds good. So next up, we have our VS Code extension of the week. And this week, we're going to be talking about Postman, because Postman has a VS Code extension now. I know you're a Postman fan, presenting on it tomorrow, Daniel. Are you using the IDE extension?
No, because I just saw this last night.
Ooh.
And so I have not played with it yet. But I don't have enough time anyway, because I talk too much. So I will be checking it out.
Okay, so for those who are looking, yeah, it has the basically, I think it's Electron app, so they basically just ported it straight into it. So when you open up an item, you can send it right in VS Code, so you can just basically run your stuff from there. It has all the same benefits. using Postman. You can sign in, so if you're on a free or a basic professional plan, you should be able to load up all your workspaces and everything and just start sending requests. So, make your request, save it.
I both love this, and this is going to mess up VS Code for me because I already have way too many tabs open, and these all open in new tabs, which is great. But I mean, I have new window for Postman. I guess the good news is I can use both, and they all sync. So, but yeah, I love the idea though.
You should check out Postbot if you're doing Postman tests. I discovered that they're a little AI tool. That is so awesome. So, anyway.
It's pretty cool. And they can do WebSocket stuff too. WebSocket posts and stuff. Very cool. Yeah. Keeps your history as well, so you could resend them. A lot of cool stuff here. So,
all right.
We ready for the Forge Box drawing, Eric?
We are. Here we go. Drum roll. And Thomas McKay, you have won a year subscription to Forge Box Pro.
Very, very
Gotta
cool.
Go build more stuff now. Come on, okay?
Yeah,
so
you're
again,
saying
reach out to us either on Slack, send us an email, get us your email somehow, and we can get that subscription over for you.
Very cool. And so Joe asked Daniel, does the Postbot use AI? Is that what you said? The Postbot's the test tool, right?
Yeah, it's a little widget within Postman if you go to the tests, because they had some good documentation to click to help write some tests. But if you actually tell Postbot, I want to test my data that as an array with 3 items and the third item has this value, it'll literally write the test for you. And it works.
Oh, wow.
And it's awesome. Yeah, I was blown away.
That is pretty dang cool.
And if you want to come to Wisconsin tomorrow, you'll see a little bit of that in my session.
Very cool. I can't spell. Okay, well, I'll give up on typing and just click the next button. So last but not least, we have our Patreon. So a lot of the Patreons are here in the chat. And again, we wouldn't be able to do this without them, would we, guys? We got a lot of great people supporting us. So we've got about 40 members. We have one that couldn't actually pay through Patreon because of country code issues. So we have 39 listed on the site, but there are a lot of great packages. We've got starting at $10 a month and going up and up and up. But again, you get some cool perks. And some of the perks we have being a Patreon supporter, again, is ForgeBox Pro and CFCast if you're a bronze or higher. But they get some cool stuff no matter what level, right, Daniel?
I'm sorry?
The Patreon perks. So
yes, for bronze packages and up, you get a ForgeBox Pro. Since you didn't win, you get that as well as the CFCast subscription. All Patreon supporters have a profile badge on the community website. All supporters have their own private forum access on the community website and their own private channel across the Box Team Slack. So lots of perks. You can get us, you can ping us. We monitor those things. We'll answer you, and yeah.
Yep. And then obviously the Otis community site. Brad does a lot of work on there. He's always answering questions. I don't know how he finds time to be on 500 Slacks and community support and actually do some work and sometimes sleep. But
lots of coffee.
Yeah, lots of coffee. But obviously we have a lot of patrons. We can't list them all because we just got too many. But we'll have Luis read the top Patreons here, and we'll have Brad read the other patrons because we got even more. So we just want to thank each and every one of you guys for personally supporting us because we couldn't do this or all of our other projects, open source. The community members is what help us get through. So thank you.
For sure. I mean, everything that comes into the patrons is used for all the open source initiatives we have, which is a lot. I mean, believe it or not, we have over 350 open source libraries that we manage. 351 since Megaphone. I didn't account for that one. So, I want to thank John Wilson from Synaptrix. I know he's done a great job in supporting us. So thank you, John. Tomorrow's Guide. I don't know, that's a company, I guess. And then Jordan Clark as well. And then we'll give it to Brad.
Yep.
All right. So got some more music to play while I read these names. Oh yeah. So I got Gary Knight, Giancarlo Gomez, David Bellinger, Dan Card, Jeffrey McGee of Sunstar Media, Dean Mounder. Oh, and music's too short. Start it again. Kevin Wright, Doug Kane, Nolan Irk, and Abdul Rahim. Thank you so much to our top Patreon supporters.
Yeah, we got many more Patreons. You can go check them out on ordersolutions.com/about-us/sponsors. So thanks each and every one of you. And yeah, thanks guys. I can't believe we made 200 episodes and many more to come, right? So crazy part is how many have we each been on? So lots.
Stats module.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Didn't go that far, but we have a lot of great people watching. It just shows. I mean, we've got over 100 people on here right now watching this, so it's nuts.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching and tuning in, and yeah, give us some feedback. Thanks, and like I said, tell your friends. We want more people to see what's going on in the community.
Subscribe.
And this is a great
Subscribe.
way. Yep.
Yes, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We did
It's
that
free.
link. It's free.
For sure. So thanks everybody. You guys have a great one, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the 201st episode. And yeah, and hopefully we'll see you guys at CF Summit and of course the workshop. So thanks everybody. Have a great one. Thanks for coming.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Show notes for this episode can be found at cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io, where you can also subscribe to your favorite podcast player like Spotify or iTunes. We also have the link to YouTube to find more videos just like this. The music used in this podcast is under a royalty-free license from Sound.com and Blue Tree Audio.